Good morning to all. Myself, Manoj Kumar Bundela, Assistant Professor, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur. So today we will discuss the vegetable grafting. So grafting means what? Grafting is the combination of two identical formulation, two identical formulation plants which grow as one plant. So normally we will join the two plants and then it will grow as a one plant, that is called as grafting. So in grafting normally two things are there. One is rootstock, second one is scion. So rootstock means it is called as mother plant. This is the mother plant, and scion is the that we have to take from the different plant and then we go for grafting that into the mother plant or rootstock plant. So vegetable grafting is a modern technique used to control the soil pathogen in which the vegetative growth of weak root combination is grafted on selected rootstock of disease and pest resistance and adaptive to environmental changes. So vegetable grafting means what we have to do? We have to select the scion which is free from the disease and pest, or it is resistant to the disease and pest, and it is also resistant to the biotic and abiotic stress. That type scion we have to select, and we have to select one rootstock. It has a good rooting system. That type of rootstock which has a good rooting system, good stem, that we have to select, and we will graft that disease resistant scion to the that mother stalk or the root stalk. So after that it will combine with each other and it will develop the one plant. That one plant, it is that plant contain the characteristics of both rootstock and scion. Means it is resistant to the disease and pest, and it is also resistant to the environmental changes. Means biotic and abiotic stress. Cultivated area using the grafted seedlings and the estimated number of grafted vegetable seedlings in Korea and Japan. The cultivated means the highest grafted seedlings are available in Korea and Japan. Means Korea and Japan is the highest in case of vegetable grafting. About 337 million grafted seedlings are planted annually in Korea. Means 1 year they plant the 337 million grafted seedlings in Korea, and more than 651 million in Japan. In Japan it is more than the Korea. It is grafted, they are grafted both in the field condition and in the greenhouse conditions. More than 95% of watermelons in both countries are grafted. So whatever the watermelons means cucurbitaceous vegetables, grafting is mainly used in cucurbitaceous vegetables. So maximum cucurbitaceous vegetables like watermelon, muskmelon means 95% of they are grafted. The majority of greenhouse cucumber are grafted. Means cucumber that is grown in greenhouse, that is also grafted, but only more than 10 to 30% of cucumber for the growth in the field are grafted. Most of the oriental melons are grafted to the squash. So normally squash as root as a used as a root stock. Squash means cucurbita species. They are used as a root stock, and oriental melons they are grafted on the squash and then they will grow. So this is called as joining of the two identical plants is called as grafting. History. The rising of grafted plant of vegetables was first initiated in Japan and Korea during 1920s with watermelon and gourd rootstock. Means normally they in first time it is developed in vegetable grafting is first time developed in Japan and Korea in 1920, and in which crop they are oriented, they are grown in watermelon. In that they use the gourds like this gourd, wattle gourd that is used as a root stock. In that root stock they are grafted the watermelon plants. In the 1950s, the eggplant was grafted into the scarlet eggplant. Means eggplant means bhindi. So bhindi Solanum melongena. It is grafted on the scarlet eggplant that is called as Solanum integifolium. So they are grafted on Solanum integifolium. At present, more than 95% of watermelon and oriental melons in Japan, Korea, and Taiwan are grafted on the squash and gourds rootstock. Means squash and gourds are used as a rootstock, and in that most of the watermelon and oriental melons are grafted, and then they are transplanted into the field. In Greece, the cucurbit grafting is very popular. So in grafting is mainly done in cucurbit. In Greece also, the cucurbit grafting is very popular. Means it is mainly popular in the Greece also. So grafting is mainly started in Japan, Korea, and it is first crop. It is started in cucurbitaceous crop, watermelon and oriental melon, and in bhindi is also grafted. So this is the current status. If we see the current status, how much grafting is there in watermelon, the total area of watermelon in China, in Japan, Korea, and China, Taiwan, and USA. Total area, then the grafting percentage means how much they are grafting, and grafting methods, which methods of grafting they are used, and what is the root stock they use. So this is given in this table. Same in case of cucumber also, area grafting. Same in case of melons, in bitter melons also, in pickling melons also, tomato also grafting is done. In tomato the grafting area is less. Eggplant in grafting is done in eggplants also, pepper also, and these are the total data. So these are mainly they are given by the scientist. That total it means grafting area and their grafting methods and what is the root stock we use. So this is the different for the different crops. Normally it is used in cucurbits like watermelon, cucumber, melons, bitter melons, pickling melons. It is also used in tomato, eggplant, pepper. So this is the table. You can see. Next is what is the objective of vegetable grafting? The main objective of vegetable grafting is to eliminate the soil-borne pest that infect the vegetable and problem of the salinity and soil acidity. Normally, it is mainly the vegetable grafting is mainly used to control the soil-borne pathogen, and some plants they are resistant to the they are some plants they are susceptible to the soil salinity and soil acidity. So in that also we can go for grafting. The other objective of the grafting are increase the productivity, increase the grafted plant tolerance to the different temperature. So normally main objective is to increase the productivity, and if we go for grafting then the grafted plants they are tolerant to the different temperature. So this is the we can see in tomato. In tomato also we can go. This is a grafted tomato. So grafted tomato is healthy, and this one is without grafting. So they will cause some heat tolerance. Objective of grafting. So there is different objective of grafting in different vegetable crops. So first in cucumber. So what is the objective of grafting in cucumber? Cucumber it is tolerance to fusarium wilt, Phytophthora melons, cold hardness, favorable sex ratio, and blossom-less fruits. So these are the main objectives. If you develop the grafted cucumber, it is tolerant to fusarium wilt, Phytophthora melons, cold hardiness, favorable sex ratio. Eggplant. In eggplant, it is tolerant to bacterial wilt, verticillium wilt, fusarium wilt, low temperature resistance. It is resistance to the nematodes. It will induce the vigor and enhance the yield. Induce the vigor and it will increase the yield in case of eggplant. So eggplant the major problem is verticillium wilt and bacterial wilt and fusarium wilt. So resistance to these all three, low temperature, nematodes. Tomato. Tomato it is tolerance to corky roots, better color and greater lycopene content. It has a better color and it has a good lycopene content, and it is tolerant to nematodes. The tomato it is tolerant to nematode, better color and greater lycopene content. Melons. Melons they are tolerant to fusarium wilt, Physiological disorders, physiological disorders, Phytophthora disease. So Phytophthora disease are the major problem in melons. Cold hardiness. So cold hardiness means sometimes if temperature is low, then the watermelon is not grown. They are mainly grown in dry season. In summer season, they are mainly grown. So if they are cold hardiness, enhance the growth. They will increase the growth of the plant. So next, in case of watermelons, they are tolerant to fusarium wilt, physiological disorders, cold hardiness, and drought tolerance. Bitter gourd, it is tolerant to fusarium wilt. So bitter gourd fusarium wilt is the major problem. So we can develop the plant which is resistant to the fusarium wilt in case of watermelon, fusarium wilt, physiological disorders, and cold hardiness and drought resistance. So vegetable crops used for the grafting. So there are different vegetable crops they are used for the grafting, like in solanaceous vegetable, tomato, brinjal, chili, pepper means capsicum. Tomato, brinjal, and capsicum is used for the grafting purpose. So this is the tomato, capsicum, and brinjal. In case of cucurbits, muskmelon, watermelon, cucumber, and squash. This is the muskmelon, watermelon, cucumber, and squash. So these are the mainly used. Squash are three types are there: winter squash, summer squash, and normal squash. So these are the squash. So these are the mainly used for the grafting. In tomato, brinjal, and capsicum in solanaceous, muskmelon, watermelon, cucumber, and squash in case of cucurbits. Rootstock for grafting. The intergeneric grafting is common in fruited vegetables. Normally it is done in fruited vegetables only. Intergeneric grafting. The watermelon are normally grafted on bottle gourd, Laginaria sessionaria, or to interspecific hybrids. So watermelon, we can graft the watermelon on bottle gourd also. With the, we can develop the interspecific hybrid. In Japan, the muskmelon is generally grafted into hybrid melon. Muskmelon are generally grafted on the hybrid melons, the base and the wax gourd. Hybrid melon we can use or we can use the wax gourd. Demesia Benicassa hispida, variety cultivated species partner. So in case of bottle gourd we use in watermelon. Bottle gourd we can use as a watermelon we can use. And in muskmelon, normally we can use the hybrid melons variety base or we can use the wax guard. In what muskmelon we can use the wax guard Benicassa hispida variety partner. So these are mainly used in case of rootstock. Cucumber are generally grafted into pig leaf gourd that is called as Cucurbita ficifolia or a interspecific hybrid Cucurbita maxima into Cucurbita moschata. So fig leaf gourd is the it, that is called as Cucurbita ficifolia. So Cucurbita ficifolia or the interspecific hybrid we can develop Cucurbita maxima and Cucurbita moschata. So in cucumber they are grafted in pig leaf gourd Cucurbita ficicola. Rootstock such as scarlet egg plant, Solanum intrifolium, Solanum florum, and Solanum nigrum are exploited for the grafting of eggplant. So in eggplant for grafting we can use Solanum nigrum, Solanum florum, and Solanum intergrifolium. Sponge gourd Lupha. Sponge gourd is used as a resistance to the fusarium wilt for bitter gourd. So sponge gourd we can use as a rootstock in bitter gourd. Sponge gourd is resistance to the fusarium wilt. So fusarium wilt for development of the fusarium wilt resistance in sponge gourd, we use the sponge gourd is resistance to the fusarium wilt and we can use into the bitter gourd as a rootstock. Tomato is usually grafted on eggplant. So tomato we are grafted on the eggplant. Eggplant it is a intergeneric rootstock and KNVF hybrid. Tomato are grafted on eggplant, Solanum torum, intergeneric rootstock and KVNF hybrids. Different rootstock for grafting of vegetables. So different rootstock we use for grafting of different vegetables. Like in case of cucumber, I already told you in cucumber we use the Cucurbita moschata we can use, Cucurbita piscifolia. Cucurbita piscifolia we can use, Piscifolia it is called as fig leaf gourd. Fig leaf gourd we can use and Cucurbita maxima also we can use. Cucurbita maxima we can use, Cucurbita piscifolia we can use or Cucurbita moschata in case of cucumber. In case of melons, we can use Cucurbita species, Cucumis melo. Cucumis melo we can use in case of melons. Cucurbita moschata cross with Cucurbita maxima, that is also we can use, or Benicassa hispida also we can use as a rootstock in case of melons. Benicassa hispida, Cucurbita moschata and Cucurbita maxima. In watermelon, Citrulus lentus, Cucurbita maxima, Cucurbita moschata, Cucurbita moschata cross with Cucurbita maxima and Legionnaria sessionaria. So these are mainly used in case of watermelon. Legionnaria sessionaria, Cucurbita moschata, Cucurbita maxima. So cross of both. Bitter gourd, Cucurbita moschata, Legionnaria sessionaria and Lufa. These are mainly used in case of bitter gourd. Tomato, Lycopsychon pimpilifolium, Lycopsychum esculentum, and Solanum nigrum. Solanum nigrum, Lycopsychon esculentum, and Lycopsychon pimpilifolium. It is mainly used in case of tomato. Eggplant, Solanum intri, integrifolium, Solanum melongena, Solanum nigrum. So they are mainly used in case of eggplant. Solanum nigrum, melongena, integrifolium. Solanum torum also. Desirable characteristics of rootstock means whatever the rootstock we are using. First I told you the which rootstock we use. So why we use that rootstock only? Why we not use the different rootstock? So it have the some specific characters. That's why we are using that particular rootstock. Like first one is tomato. In case of tomato, we are using the Lycopsychum pimpilifolium. So why we use the Lycopsychum pimpilifolium? Because it is nematode resistance. That's why we use the Lycopsychum pimpilifolium. Lycopsychum hirsutum. So it is also resistant to the nematodes. That's why we use the Lycopsychum hirsutum in case of tomato as a rootstock because it is a nematode resistance. Solanum intrigifolium. Solanum intrigifolium. It is a tomato sugar content increase. It will increase the sugar content in tomato. That's why we use the tomato intrigifolium. Solanum sissi Sesambrifolium. So Solanum sesambrifolium, it is tomato disease resistance. It is resistant to the some disease in tomato. Solanum torum. Solanum torum, it is a disease resistance and nematode tolerance. Disease resistance and nematode tolerance. Solanum torum. Solanum nigrum L. Solanum nigrum L, it is a fruit size and quality control. It is mainly used for the fruit size and for the quality control. Solanum nigrum. Next is brinjal. So in brinjal, we can use the Solanum torum. Solanum torum, disease resistance and nematode resistance. Solanum in, interigifolium. Solanum interigifolium, it is low temperature tolerance. In brinjal, we use the Solanum interigifolium. So it is resistant to the low temperature tolerance. That's why we use as a rootstock. Laginaria sessionaria. Next is in watermelon. So in watermelon, we use the Laginaria sessionaria. So Laginaria sessionaria is a vigorous root system, fusarium tolerance, and a low temperature tolerance. Fusarium tolerance, low temperature tolerance, and it is a vigorous root system. Laginaria sessionaria. Cucurbita moschata. It have the vigorous root system, fusarium tolerance, and a low temperature tolerance. Cucurbita moschata, vigorous root system, fusarium tolerance, and low temperature tolerance. Interspecific hybrid of squash. Interspecific hybrid of squash like Cucurbita maxima and Cucurbita maxima and Cucurbita moschata. The cross between the Cucurbita maxima and Cucurbita moschata, That also we can use as a rootstock in case of watermelon. So it is what is the user? It is a vigorous root system, fusarium tolerance, low and high temperature tolerance. It is low temperature also and high temperature also tolerance. Moschata, it is a low temperature tolerance. If only we use Moschata, we use the Moschata and Maxima, then it is tolerance to the high and low temperature. Benicassa hispida, it is a good disease resistance. So Benicassa hispida, it is used for the disease resistance. Cucurbita pepo, it has a vigorous root system. Fusarium tolerance, low temperature tolerance. Cucurbita pepo, vigorous root system, fusarium tolerance and low temperature tolerance. Cucumis metalliferus. Cucumis metalliferus, it is fusarium tolerance and nematode tolerance. Fusarium and nematodes. Cucumber. Cucurbita fiscifolia, it is a low temperature tolerance and good disease resistance. Cucurbita, in cucumber we can use Cucurbita fiscifolia. So it is a low temperature tolerance and good disease resistance. Cucurbita moschata is a fusarium tolerance fruit quality modification. It is used in cucumber also. Cucurbita maxima and Cucurbita moschata cross fusarium tolerance and low temperature tolerance. Cucurbita metuliferus, it is fusarium tolerance and nematode tolerance. Different methods of grafting. In grafting, it is important to increase the chance of vascular bundles of scion and rootstock to come into contact by maximizing the area of cut surface and are placed together. So normally why we go for grafting? When we go for grafting, we have to take care that the maximum area of vascular bundles means we will make the cuts. When we join the both the cuts means both the rootstock and scion, that time we have to take care the maximum area of vascular bundle of the rootstock and scion. So this is the rootstock, this one is scion. So maximum area will come in contact of the rootstock and scion. Like this, we have to go for grafting, so that the chance of the setting is more. After grafting, a temperature of 30° and relative humidity is 95% is maintained for the fast healing and better survival of grafted. So when we go for grafting, that time we have to maintain the temperature 30° centigrade and relative humidity 95. Gradually, the relative humidity is then lowered and the light intensity is increased. So after some time, what we have to do? We have to reduce the relative humidity and the light we have to increase when the combining of the rootstock and scion is completed. The development of graft union is depends upon the formation of an isolation layer and a permit isolation layer and parenchymatous cells. Parenchymatous cells will prepare the Parenchymatous cells will prepare the isolation layers. Parenchymatous callus to occurrence of symplastic contact between the cells, notably the sleeve elements of the rootstock and scion. So various methods of grafting we can use, like cleft grafting, whip or tongue grafting we can use, splice grafting, plate grafting, saddle grafting, bud grafting, whole insertion grafting, and tongue approach grafting. Tongue approach grafting also we can use. These are the different methods of grafting. So first one is cleft grafting. In cleft grafting, what we have to do? We have to make the V-shaped cup, and like this cut we have to make on rootstock, and then both we have to join. This method of grafting is practiced in tomato. For the successful union, the seeds of the rootstock are sown 5 to 7 days earlier than the scion. So for successful grafting, what we have to do? Rootstock we have to sown 5 to 7 days earlier than the scion. So first we have to sow the rootstock, then we have to sow the scion after 7 days, so that it will be grafting will be easy. The stem of the scion of 4-leaf stage. What is the scion is there when it is reached to the 4-leaf stage, and the rootstock at 4 to 5 leaf stage are cut at right angle and each with 2 to 3 leaves keeping on the stem. So this is the rootstock and this one is the scion. So when they reach 4 to 5 leaf stage, That time we have to cut the rootstock also, and scion also we have to cut, and we will make the cut like this, a cleft like cut we have to make, and it both contain the 2 to 3 leaves. The stem scion is cut in a wedge, and the tapered end is fitted into a cleft cut in end of the rootstock. So it will be fit into this like this. The graft is held firm with a plastic clip. After grafting, we have to keep the plastic clip in this, or we can use the polythene. This is the cleft grafting. So this is the rootstock, and this one is the scion. So we have to like this cut V-shaped cut we have to make here. Like this we have to cut the scion. Then we have to keep inside this. It will get union, and then we have to cover it by the plastics. We can use the plastics, or we can use the anything. Then we have to cover it like this. Tube grafting. So tube grafting, this method of grafting is very popular among the Japanese seedling procedure of grafting small plants grown in a plug tray 2 to 3 times faster than the convenient method. So normally we will grow the plant in plug trays, or pro trays we will use. In pro trays we have to grow the plant, rootstock plant. The optimum growth stage of grafting varies according to the kind of plug used. What is the growth is depends on the type of plugs. It's small size plug, medium size plug, what size type of plugs we are using. It is depends on that. The plant is small cells are grafted as early growth stage, which require the small size tubes. Plant in a small cells are grafted as earlier. So like this, this is the clip we can use, or tubes. The first, the rootstock is given a slanting cut, and the scion is also cut in same. So this is the rootstock, and this one is scion. So in scion and both we have to make the slant cut. One side slant cut we have to make. Same cut we have to make in rootstock also. Same we have to make in scion also. The elastic tubes with side slit are put on the cut end of the rootstock. Then we have to put one plastic tubes like this tube we have to keep, and then we have that enter the scion also in this. This is the scion also we have to enter in this plastic tubes. The cut end of the scion are inserted into the tube. In that tube only we have to enter the scion also. The splicing the cut surface of the scion and rootstock together. Then the cut surface of the rootstock and scion will be joined together. The tube grafting is practiced in brinjal into the rootstock of Solanum torum. So Solanum torum we have a rootstock, in that we have to practice the tube grafting. So this is the tube grafting. It is mainly using brinjal. Tongue approach grafting. So this method is common in melons and other cucurbits. In melons and other cucurbits, we can go for tongue approach grafting. In such case, the seeds are sown 10 to 13 days before grafting for the cucurbits, and 7 to 10 days before grafting for pumpkin, to ensure the uniformity in diameter. So in tongue approach grafting, what we have to do, we will sow the seeds 10 to 13 days before grafting for cucurbits, and 7 to 10 days before grafting for pumpkin, to ensure the uniformity in diameter. This is the tongue approach grafting. So this is the rootstock we can use, and this one is the scion we have to use, rootstock and scion, and like this we have to join both rootstock and scion. In one only we will grow the rootstock and scion, and we will graft like this. Tongue approach grafting. The hypocotyle of the scion and rootstock are cut. Just we have to remove the hypocotyle. The upper surface we have to remove in such a way they tongue into the each other, and the graft is secured with a plastic clips. So like this we have to make the hypocotyle cuts. How we make the cuts? We have to make the tongue cuts like this, so that they will union with each other, and then we can use the plastic. So like this we have to make the cuts, so they will union with each other, and like this we have to make the cuts, and then we can use the plastic clips. This you can see like this V-shaped cut, like this cut we have to make, same cut we have to make like this, and we will join the both. The hypocotyle of the scion is left for 3 to 4 days, and then the hypocotyle is cut off with a sharp blade 3 to 4 days after crushing. So this is the hypocotyle we have to join. After that we have to cut this. This plant we have to cut, and we will allow only this plant to grow. After 3 to 4 days, when the union will be completed. Cutting of the scion hypocotyle. Scion hypocotyle we have to cut after the union of this. Slant cut grafting. So slant cut grafting, this method, the first leaf and the lateral buds are removed. First leaf we have to remove and lateral buds we have to remove. When a slanting cut is given to the cotyledon, after that we will give the slant cut on the cotyledon of the rootstock. So this is the rootstock. In this rootstock, what we have to do? We have to remove the leaf, the upper surface, upper these leaves we have to remove, and then we have to make the slant cut. Like this slant cut we have to make. The same cut we have to make on other plant also. This is the slant cut. Like this slant cut we have to make. Both slant cut we have to make. Then we will go for the union of the both rootstock and scion. Mechanized grafting. Recently, the grafting robots of plug have been developed by combining the adhesive and grafting plates, which facilitates the stimulants grafting for 8 plug of tomato, eggplant and pepper nowadays. So nowadays in tomato, eggplant and pepper we use the mechanized grafting. So in mechanized grafting we have used the robots we can use, means automatically they are grafted. Nowadays, a fully automated grafting system have been designed for the cucurbitaceous vegetables. So fully automated grafting system, it is mainly designed for the cucurbitaceous vegetables only, in which the quality seedlings are produced by using the Fuji logic for the natural network. Fuji logic and the natural network. In addition, a heating chamber with controlled atmospheric condition have been designed to enhance the survival of the graftage. For the survival of the graftage, we have to develop the heating chamber with controlled atmospheric condition. This is the automated grafting system, mechanized grafting system. We have to use in this. We have to mix the heating system and all. This is the mechanized grafting. From this, we have to use the rootstock and scion, and it will be get grafted here. So grafting seedlings produced by different grafting methods in Japan. So here we can see in watermelons how many produced by tongue grafting, tongue approach, split or remove, insertion, splice, and these are the different methods of grafting we are used, and how much the area survive and how much they are used. So that is given for the different crops like watermelon, cucumber, melons, tomato, and eggplants. Grafted seedlings produced in commercial nurseries for sale. So in commercial nurseries, they are developed the these type means different methods they are used, and these numbers of plants they are developed in cucumber, watermelon, melons, tomato, eggplant. Subtotal of these means total means grafted and by the farmers and grafted by the nurseries. This is the total number of tongue approach, split. So these are the different grafting methods. Application of vegetable grafting to impart, to impart pest and disease tolerance or resistance. The main objective of grafting is to reduce the soil-borne disease like fusarium wilt in cucurbits like cucumber and melons. Cucumber and melons, the fusarium wilt is the major problem. So to reduce that, we will go for grafting. Bacterial wilt in solanaceous vegetables like tomato and pepper. Bacterial wilt is the major problem. The use of resistance rootstock in combination with integrated pest management. So we can use the rootstock, resistance rootstock in combination with integrated pest management. It will reduce the requiring soil fumigation with methyl bromide in many crops, and it is effective in organic farming vegetables. So whatever the rootstock we can use, they will combine with each other. We can develop the plants that is resistant to the pest and disease, and it required the less whatever the chemicals we are applying, it required the less chemicals. We not no need to go for fumigation, no need to spray any chemicals because it is resistant to the pest and disease. Grafting of vegetables to be managed soil-borne pathogens. So this is in case of tomatoes, they are developed the resistance to the soil-borne pathogens in case of tomatoes. This is the bacterial wilt resistance also we can develop. Blight resistance also we can develop to avoid the nematode infestation. So the Cysos angulatus and pumpkin have been found to be the promising rootstock to avoid the nematode infestation in cucumber. So in cucumber, nematodes is the major problem. So in that case, we can use the pumpkin. Cucurbita species we can use Cucurbita maxima and Cucurbita moschata, or cross of the Cucurbita maxima and Cucurbita moschata. So that we can use as a rootstock to develop the new variety that is resistant to the nematode infection. In tomato, Nematex rootstocks give the complete resistance against the nematodes. So in tomato we can use the Nematex. In tomato Nematex rootstock, it will give the complete resistance against the nematode infection. Other rootstocks are used against the nematode in tomato are KNVF and Solanum nigrum. Solanum nigrum also we can use, or KNVF. So these rootstock is also used against the nematode resistance in case of tomato. So in case of pumpkin, we can use in case of pumpkin is used as a promising rootstock in case of in cucumber for nematode resistance, and in case of tomato we can use Nematex, or we can use KNVF and Solanum nigrum. These are the studies given by the development of the soil-borne pathogens in case of by use the method of grafting, they will develop the soil-borne pathogen resistance variety in Capsicum annum rootstock with nitrogen gene resistance, offered and effective to control the Mi when grafted to the popular commercial bell pepper. Nematodes. So, Rewards et al. Showed that under the heavy natural Mi inoculation pressure and in hot soils, non-grafted tomatoes were survival dealt where the Maxifort or Benufort has a low incidence of galling and big power had trace amount of galling in 2 consecutive days. To minimize the ototoxic effect, some cucurbits crop like and cucumber melons and cucumbers. Phenolic acid form phenolic acid form for from root tissue and root exudates, known as ototoxins. So ototoxin, it is released from the roots of the plants, and these chemicals affect the iron uptake. So whatever the ions they are present in the soil, so they are means roots they will execute some ototoxics, and that ototoxics they will reduce the it has a chemical effect and it will reduce the iron uptake. The membrane permeability, photosynthesis, and phytohormone balance. So the ototoxins that is released from the roots of the plants, it will affect the permeability, photosynthesis, and phytohormones balance. Such type of ototoxicity in cucurbits can be reduced by grafting on the Cucurbita fiscifolia. So if we go for Cucurbita fiscifolia, if we use as a rootstock, if we use the Cucurbita fiscifolia as a rootstock, then we can reduce the ototoxic effect. So ototoxic effect means what? Ototoxic means the roots of the cucurbits they will release some ototoxic chemicals they will release, and that chemicals will affect the uptake of ions. It will make it will reduce the membrane permeability, photosynthesis, and phytohormone balance. So that we can control by use of Cucurbita fiscifolia if you use as a rootstock. It will avoid the cold hardiness. Grafting is effective to initiate the flowering and fruit set at low temperature which saves the energy of polyhouse to maintain the day and night temperature. Normally, if we go for grafting, it will increase the flowering and fruit set at low temperature. So if we they will develop the low temperature means we will not need to maintain the poly house, because in poly house we have to maintain the temperature. We have to maintain the temperature. When temperature is less, then we have to increase the temperature. When temperature is more, then we have to reduce the temperature. If we develop the varieties that is called hardiness, means in low temperature also they will develop the flowering and fruit set. Then we no need to increase the temperature. In cucumber, early yield is recorded by grafting of Cucurbita fiscifolia. So in this also, cold hardiness also we can use the Cucurbita fiscifolia, and ototoxic effect also we can use the Cucurbita fiscifolia. It will reduce the temperature region in polyhouse from 23 to 20 degrees centigrade. If we use this, it will the fruit sets and flowering will be occurs when the temperature is 23 to 20 degrees centigrade, and grafted plants can survive in 10 degrees centigrade temperature also. Normally, if 20 to 23 temperature is there in polyhouse, so if you go for grafting with Cucurbita fiscifolia, so it will grow in temperature 10 degrees centigrade temperature also it will grow. So this is the studies in tomato. They are developed the low temperature tolerance. Survival under the excessive moisture. The intergeneric grafting increase the flood tolerance in cucurbits. Intergeneric grafting, it will increase the flood tolerance in cucurbits. Flood-prone bitter melons, flood-prone bitter melons, and flood-tolerant to Luffa rootstock. So Luffa rootstock we can use to develop the flood tolerance and flood prone. If the flood tolerance also means if the water is more, so that time we can use. Improve the tolerance to the abiotic stress. So abiotic stress, the thermal stress, water stress, and organic pollutants. So it is mainly done. The grafting will improve the flood tolerance of bitter melons, Mormodica charencia, when grafted into the luffa. If you graft the Marmodica charencia bitter melons into the luffa, it will control the thermal stress, water stress. The reduction of the chlorophyll content in cucumber leaves induced by the waterlogging, it will enhance the grafting into the squash rootstock. To improve the quality traits, in cucumber, more number of commercial acceptable and shiny fruits are obtained by grafting on squash hybrid. So if we graft on the squash hybrid, so we can develop the cucumber that is more shiny and they will look good. Enhanced the sugar content in Gallia and Helon melons has been reported by grafting of the rootstock either of the melons cultivars Sukir or 841. So 841 or Sukir, these are the rootstock we can use. If we use this rootstock, it will increase the sugar content in the fruits. Like in melons, the sugar content will be increased. In cucumber also we can use the squash hybrids we can use. If you use the squash as a rootstock, then it will develop the fruits that is good quality. They are shining fruits they are developed and they are more accepted into the market. In tomato, the grafting plant produce increased number of marketable fruits and it will decrease the number of malformed. Means if we go for grafting in tomato, it will develop the uniform fruits, and the uniform fruits will have the good demand in market. The malformed fruits will be not developed. Under developed and grey mold infection, the fruits and had fruit with better color and highest lycopene content. So if we go for grafting, it will develop the fruits which have the better color and they have the highest lycopene content, and it will develop the uniform fruits. So the grafting will improve the quality traits. Quality traits like in case of tomato, it will improve the size of the fruits, color of the fruits, and lycopene content of the fruits. In case of bitter gourd, in case of bitter gourds, in case of bitter gourd, it will increase the, we can use the rootstock like Suki or 841 has been used. In case of melons, it will increase the sugar content. In cucumber, we can use the hybrid KKY hybrids we can use. It will increase the market acceptability and shiny appearance. Impact of grafting to produce the quality of fruits and vegetables. The fruit size result in the higher yield since grafted plants are resistant to the soil-borne disease, has strong root system and increase the photosynthesis. So this is the given by the scientist. The yield will be increased in watermelons by using of the yield of the watermelon will be increased by using go for the grafting, and it will increase the large size fruits and more fruits per plant. In watermelons, we can go for grafting with interspecific squash hybrid, cucurbita duschois and moschata duschois, and increase the fruit size 52%. The 52% fruit size will be increased if we use the moschata duschois and eczema duschois. The two squash interspecific hybrid rootstock, Centosa and Testucubuta, increase the both watermelon yield and fruit size by average of 90% to 26% respectively. Watermelon fruits are obtained from the plant grafted into the Lagenaria rootstock, and Cucurbita maxima and Cucurbita moschata rootstocks have the firmness content is 24 to 27%. Then the fruits formed from the ungrafted plant. They have the more firm fruits we have to develop by grafting. Studies have been reported that it will in melons we can increase the firmness by grafting on the proteo plants onto P360. Similarly, in cucumber, the flesh firmness were higher with fruit from the plants grafted on endogenous. Manipulation in grafting periods. The cucumber grafted into Cucurbita ficifolia produced the faster and 200% early yield. Means if we go for grafting of the cucumber on Cucurbita ficifolia, so it will produce the 200% more early yield. The rootstock is also exploited for late crop in summer cucumber. Frequency of the harvesting fruits is increased by grafting. So if the frequency of the harvesting fruits will be increased by grafting, the highest early yield of melons, Civigelia and Helon is obtained when grafting of the rootstock either into Suiker or 841. Suiker or 841 if you use, then it will increase the yield. Tonic effect on mineral nutrients. The grafting affects growth and mineral content of the plant tissue, especially the role of root and shoots in regulation of Fe efficiency in grafted cucumber. In cucumber, grafting of Cucurbita ficifolia reduce the magnesium deficiency. So in cucumber, if we go for grafting with Cucurbita ficifolia, it will reduce the magnesium deficiency. Cucumber cultivars producing fruits with heavy surface bloom are undesirable for market. They produce the fruits which have the heavy surface bloom. They are undesirable for marketing. Such heavy blooms can be depressed by grafting into bloomless rootstock. Influence on sex expression. Grafting also influences the flowering pattern. Cucurbita hardiviki, grafted gynoecious cultivars of cucumber, it will increase the expression of pistillate flowers. It will develop the more female flowers. If we go for grafting in Cucurbita hardwicki, if we use the Cucurbita hardwicki as a rootstock, so it will increase the more number of pistillate flowers. Syn- Synchos angulata, a qualitatively short-day wild species, is introduced to flowers not only by grafting it into a flower-induced plant of the same species, but also by intergeneric grafting on day-neutral plants of Cucumis. The quality will be induced. Beside is found that the Cucurbita angulata develop the both staminate and pistillate inflorescence with similar sex expression even when one of the cucumber cultivar is andromonaceous. So this is all about the vegetable grafting. Thank you. Thank you all.